I'm Alex Wolf. I played Jeff, Jeff Berger, and I play Jeff.
Yeah. Pass your mic down.
Amalia Ullman here. I play Elena.
And you directed the movie.
And
you
I
wrote
directed,
the movie.
yeah.
Yes.
Wrote it,
Yeah.
I'm Joe Apollonio. I play Justin.
I'm Simon Rex. I play Dave. I can't remember my character's
name. but you're in the
Edna. Jesus.
You have to put that.
That's pretty good.
I am Chloe Sevigny, and I play Edna.
And I am Camila del Campo, and I play Manchi.
I want to know where this movie came from, and also how you assembled this amazing cast and how the cast got on board this project.
Well, it all started, there's like two subject matters in the film. One is the problem with the glyphosates, and the other one is like these, the crew that comes from New York, from this hipster media platform. And yeah, the kernel of the story was I had some of my family affected by these like sprayings in northern Argentina and the rural areas. And then I investigated a little bit more, and it seems to be a problem in the global south in general. And then, it was in the back of my mind for a few years until I came up with the story, and like the way to bridge and like create the story was through this crew. A very unserious crew that comes from New York, and they're all dealing with their own personal problems because one of them is getting canceled, and like the network is sort of like going down. And this is probably one of the last episodes, so it's like very messy. So it was a way to like combine the two things, which I'm very familiar with.
Yeah, and it's very funny because they want to do this kind of fake story when the real story is happening.
Yeah, the real story is happening, but yeah, they decide to like try to fake some like stupid clickbaity trend. Yeah.
Right. And how did you cast the movie?
Yeah, so from very early on, I started working with Joe because we're friends. And, we started developing his character and everything. Chloe's role was written for her, so that from the very beginning, I'd have her in mind.
That's nice.
It was based on like some of the roles that she played in the past, like Dogville and Demon Lover and Big Love as well.
Some of my more sassy parts, one might
more
say.
sassy parts. And then I had thought of Alex for a long time because I'd seen him in Pig, and he resembled physically like this person that I loosely based the character on. And at the beginning, I thought he might be too young for it, but then we met and everything, and he really got what I was trying to do. And I think you got me when we were talking about Philip Seymour Hoffman's character.
In what movie?
Sorry, you'll
Mission
have to cut
Impossible
this.
3.
No. God, one of
Was
the
it in
foreign
Boogie
actor.
Nights?
Yeah, in Boogie
Yeah,
Nights.
yeah.
Yes. So in Boogie Nights, he's in the background, and he's like doing this thing. And we have seen that film sort of recently, when we had the meeting, and I was amazed that you had clocked that, because I had even like filmed it, because I was like, that's what I want Jeff to be like. And so and then Simon came on board, and I was so happy because I had loved Red Rocket so much. And I think he could do it with a sense of humor that most actors were really scared to do that. I think that character in particular was very tricky because he's a man who's getting canceled, and I feel like not many men feel comfortable enough to play that role without having to like look too much in the mirror. And it was important to have that sort of like sense of humor. Like he's more of a fuck up than like a dark, manipulative person. That's how most other actors wanted to portray him.
Yeah.
So I think that was really important. Yeah.
Simon, you want to talk about signing on?
Yeah, well, I had seen El Planeta and loved it, and I wanted to work with her, and I was just happy to be a part of this. And the character was basically loosely based, she told me, on this guy Dove from American Apparel, who was canceled.
Yes.
Who was a very fast-talking guy who maybe similar to that. Maybe his intentions weren't bad, and he was just sort of, I don't know, I can't speak to that, but I played it that way, that he's not coming from a place of malice. He's just sort of a fuck up, like you said.
He's just very horny.
Yeah, very horny.
Yeah.
Sort of one more time, the mic, something.
And it was a lot of fun to play.
Yes.
Especially with these guys.
Well, I was wondering, for all the actors, sort of how was this project described to you, and did you sort of get it immediately? Because I feel like it would be kind of hard to articulate from the outset what this movie is and what your role is. And I'm assuming there was a fair amount of improvisation, or no?
Well, Amalia's also a visual artist, so she created a deck, which obviously had references to like filmmaking styles and music and kind of how she wanted to capture it. And because she is a visual artist, she's, it's easy for her to articulate those ideas. I think the movie looks very much like what she sent in the original deck.
Really?
Yeah.
And I also want to add, like, with the improv stuff, a lot of the scenes in the movie are improvised. Like, we were given a script to know, but then we were able to play around. And I remember one time I was memorizing my lines, like, word for word for word. And Amalia, like, took me aside and was like, "You're starting to be stiff. Improv."
I think we were also
Thank you.
being in Argentina. We were so like the elements, especially in those beginning scenes when we were walking around and, and then working with actors that, are English speaking. You had to be on your toes in order to kind of just react to whatever was actually happening around you, because the place we were in was just so alive and in itself.
Was that scary or exciting for you as an actor?
I mean, so exciting. But
Yeah.
for me, it was the whole thing was a no-brainer because Amalia was clearly really kind of a genius from her first movie, and what she'd done as an artist. I liked it that she wasn't focused on everything being too pretty. Everything was she just wanted it to be original, and I found that to be so awesome in a world that is I feel like, especially in film, everybody wants to be a certain kind of chic, so they have a level of cachet to their whatever. And I think Molly didn't give a shit about that. It was really about being original and being funny, and taking something that would, in other hands, maybe be self-serious or sort of an issue movie, and turning it into a real biting satire. I just got the wrap-up sign.
Yeah.
So no, don't worry. I get it. I get it.
Alex, that was all of me.
No, it was me. It was me. I can be long-winded, but I do want to say that the thing about when you read the description of this movie, I promise it is nothing like what you expect. It is a completely trippy, hilarious, original film that actually does something new, and it's really hard to. There's not that many things you can say are actually doing something new instead of rehashing something else. I mean, we bonded over the things about Boogie Nights and whatever, but Jeff, to me, why I loved him was he was so a person that I knew, and parts of myself I didn't like, and people I'd met, but not someone that I'd ever seen in a movie. But I think every person who's seen it, especially every woman who's seen it, has been like, "Oh my God, I know that fucking guy."
Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate, but every woman that's seen the film has confessed that they at least once slept with that
somebody like that.
person.
Yeah.
And they,
I'm getting the wrap-up single, but I have to ask about, there's so many great dogs that you guys come across.
Yes.
Did you have a favorite dog? Did anyone
Yes.
adopt? Did anyone
Bonner
take
Well, there was
one
a
out?
dog. I mean, this is just another genius thing of like Amalia put a camera on a dog, and the dog
Yes.
would run up and film us. And I thought, like, man, this is, even if this is a colossal failure disaster, this is so bold and so cool. I just felt in such good hands.
Well,
with
the
Amalia.
improvisation part, I think we always talk about the actors, but I think Chloe was mentioning that I'm a visual artist, and I think that was, I really wanted to be open to be filming all the time. So within the film, I'm also filming, like when I'm holding a camera, it's actually like I'm filming.
Yeah.
And part of that was like used in edit. And so, for example, with the animals, I was like, at the beginning, they were like kicking them out of set, but I was like, no. this is how it feels to be in Argentina and places like this. It's like dogs everywhere.
Yeah.
And so like let's just let the dogs like walk past, or like like
Chloe has a lovely moment with a horse.
yeah. Oh yeah.
That was
exactly.
amazing.
And all those things, I feel like you have to be open to that magic.
Yeah.
And for example, there's something that happened when shooting Chloe with the horse.
Yeah.
The horse also had a camera. But there's something insane that happened. It's like when Chloe is approaching the horse itself moves the ear, so we can see Chloe better. But that's just like,
That's amazing.
Magic.
you know,
Yeah.
that's just
Fun.
magic. Yeah. So I think like part of the like improvisation part is I want everything to be as close to the script as possible, but still being open for those things to be captured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you guys all so much for coming in.
Thanks so much.
It was a thrill.